Hi there, I'm Cheryl, and did you ever make a beautiful dimensional card and wonder how to give it? I'm going to show you how to make this little handbag box type of thing to give your card. I mean, you could just say, here you go, here's your card. Or you could present it to them in something like this. Now I'm not going to show you how I decorated it. I'm just showing you how to make this little holder for it. So let's get started on that. Now my card was a 5.5 by 4.25 card. Okay, so let's see. We'll write that down, 5.5 by 4.25. Alright, now you're going to need a little bit of room so that your card slides in and out easily. So I find that 1/4 inch is plenty for that. So we want to write down 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. I always find it's easier to draw it out first. So I need a front and I need a back. Excuse me, for my box. So this is going to be 4.5, 4.5, and 5 3/4, 5 3/4. Now I measured my card, and usually 1 inch will be sufficient for the sides. So I'm going to draw in my sides. There's a side there, and there's another side. We have 2 sides, and so they're going to be 1 inch, and then by 5 3/4 here. Okay, and same over here, 1 inch by 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to start adding this up, and I can see that I already have 11 inches here, and I don't have a little tab to fold under and attach my front and side together. So over here I need another 1/2 inch, and we're going to need one on this one also, 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're going to have 2 pieces. I'm going to draw a line right down the center here. Now we need a bottom for our box, and again our sides are 1 inch. I'm going to make the bottom, I'm going to make the flaps for the bottom 3/4 inch, and that way they won't be showing and sticking out, so you can't see them. So across here, okay, so that's going to be 3/4 inch wide, and on this one also we'll need that. So, and then we'll add all of these together. So we have 4.5 and 1 inch, that's 5.5, and then another 1/2 inch, that'd be 6 inches. 6 inches. So now we know our piece has to be 6 inches by, okay, 5 3/4, and the 3/4 for the bottom, that's 6.5. And we can start cutting paper now. So I have 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock here. You can use any cardstock you like. You can use designer paper. It really doesn't matter. I'll bring in my trimmer here. I'm going to cut both of them at the same time because I'm adventurous that way. I need to flip my little side out here and slide them over. I'm going to cut the 6.5 inch side first. So slide it over to 6.5, and use my cutting blade. That's the darker one on this. We're going to put this aside. We'll need that because we need handles yet. Remember? Yeah. And we'll cut these now 6 inches. Okay. And let's cut our handles too while we're doing this. And I made my handles 3/4 of an inch. So this is the 3/4 of an inch by the 8.5 inch width of the cardstock. Is everything lined up here? Yeah. And I'll cut the handles. Hopefully I'll be able to find them when we get to that part. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces here, 6.5 by 6. So the height is 6.5 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to score that bottom so I know where I am. And let's see. I'll measure just to make sure that I'm scoring the right side because it's hard to tell when there's so little difference in the size. So this is my 6.5 inch side here. So my box will be oriented this way. So this will be my bottom. Just going to slide this in here. Yeah, I'm doing both of them at one time. Just to try to save a little time here. So I've scored that 3/4 of an inch on the bottom edge. And I'm just gonna give that a little fold right now so it will be a little easier for you to see on the video. Okay, now we're going to turn it this way. Let me bring my diagram out here. So I need 4.5. I need to score it 4.5. So 4.5, and that will be the front of our card. And top to bottom, score 4.5. And then we're going to slide it over. We need 1 inch for the side. So we'll slide it over another inch. So that's at 5.5 inches. And we'll score that. And again, I'm going to fold these just so it's a little easier for you to see right now. Well, these are going to have to be folded nicely anyway. We're going to have to give them a nice sharp crease. Let me get my bone folder in here too so I remember to do that. Okay, so now you can see we've got scored here, and scored here. And we bring our scissors in. And again, I'm doing both at one time. You will probably want to do these one at a time. So right here, this is where we're scored just that 1/2 inch bit here. We're going to cut that out. That's going to go. That's garbage. And then on our next score line, we're going to cut. And we're cutting up just to the score line at the 3/4 inch here on the bottom. Then I like to cut a little triangle out here. And we're going to do that on either side of this tab. So that's going to be our little tab on the bottom. And this one. And then this edge also. Cut just a little triangle out there. We're all done with this. I can put this away. Let me put that aside. So now we have our front and the back of our card ready to put together. And I'm going to give that a nice score or a nice fold. Do the same with this one. Let me get the bone folder. I got that out. I might as well use it, right? Get that nice fold. Okay, that looks good. And then we'll fold the bottom parts. And the same on this one. Okay, and now to put it together, you can use any glue of your choice, any tape of your choice. I got out this this tape, this some heavy-duty tape I picked up somewhere along the line. I'm going to use that for the video. On my original card, I used Tombow glue, and that worked fine. But then I had to hold it. Okay, so I'm putting the tape on this fold right. But oh, incidentally, now is the time to decorate your card before you start putting it together. It makes it so much easier. It'll make it so much easier for you than once the whole thing is assembled. So at this point, decorate your front. If you want to decorate the back, decorate the back. If you want to decorate your handles, do that now also. And you'll be good to go. So let me put this tape down. Happens to be 1/2-inch tape, so it fits right on there. Trim that off here and here. And pull that off. Of course, my tape's not behaving. Let me rub that down good. If anything is going to go wrong, it will go wrong in a video. I will tell you that. And it's not. It's not working. Forget that, huh? Let me grab my Tombow. I'll go back to Tombow. There you go, tape. Off you go. We'll put our Tombow glue on there. And then our box will go together this way. So, lay that down. And line up your top and your bottom here. And just glue those together like that. And then we'll do the same on this flap. So let me turn this over like this. And put some Tombow glue on there. And line those edges up. This is a little more fiddly than doing the front, or doing the first one, because now we're getting into, we're three-dimensional now. This is the same reason that you want to decorate before you start doing this, or get the majority of it done. Okay, so now we can do the bottom. I have a little side flap folded in, side flap folded in. I'm going to put glue all on that side flap there. I'll fold one of these ends in, and then just along the edge here, I'm going to put some more Tombow glue, and we'll fold that side in. And then I like to stand it up like this, and I'll take something that I can reach down in there with, like my Sharpie, and I'll just press that down in place. And we're ready to add our handles. So, I like the loop of my handle facing in, and that way it will, if the card should start to slide out, then this handle will catch it and it won't go anywhere. So I'll put some Tombow glue on this bottom, like 1/2 inch. And the same on this side. And I'll start with this one. And I like to bring this in about 3/4 of an inch And glue that down straight up and down like this. And let's see. If you have something to clamp this with, like a little paper clip or something like that, I was looking for, I have a pair of tweezers that close to hold it in place. But anyway, now I put my other one in I'm just eyeballing it, about the same amount. If you're someone who likes to measure, then by all means make yourself a little tick mark with the pencil that you can erase later. And just hold that in place. And there we go. And we just do the same for the handle on the back. Now if your card isn't the same size as mine, that's okay, because you can make it any size you want, as long as you have paper big enough to make the card. Hold that. Let me put that aside. But you can see we have now this lovely little carrier box type of thing to put our cards in. Let me get a clean sheet of paper here. And I see I'm running out of time, so I have to hurry up. Now I have another card here that I want to give to somebody, and this card is 5.5 by 5.5. Oh, different size. Yeah, so this is what you do. You start out the same way, 5.5 by 5.5. Add your 1/4 inch, or your 1/4 inch on. So we need it 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 for the front and the back of our card. Draw your little things out, just exactly the same way as we did before. 3/4, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and 5 3/4. We have our little 1-inch side, and we have another 1-inch side over here, and then we also need our little tabs, and that's a 1/2 inch, and that's a 1/2 inch over here, and we want our 3/4 inch bottom. And same for this second side. Okay, so now we're going to add these up. So 5 3/4 and 1 inch, that's 6 3/4, and another 1/2 inch, that's 7 1/4. So we know, okay, these are going to be two separate ones. So we know we need 7 1/4 inch this way. Okay, so now we're going to add for the side. We have 5 3/4 and 3/4. So that's 6 1/2 inches. So this is the size we will cut our paper. We will cut it 6 1/2 by 7 1/4. Again, we're going to score on at 5 3/4. We'll score again at 6 3/4. Across the bottom, the whole length of the bottom, a 3/4 of an inch score, and you just assemble it just exactly the same way. So I hope that's clear to you. I try to do it as clearly as possible. But if you have any questions or comments about it, then please leave them down below, and I'll get back to you. I'm pretty prompt about getting back to people when they leave a comment down, down the bottom of the video. If you like this video, then be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to subscribe and see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. And y'all take care. stay safe, and happy stamping.